Yeah, I see mine. I think it is. That's for next year.
Hello, everybody. Haley, can you hear me? I can't hear you guys.
Yeah. Can
Here we
you?
go.
Good.
Okay.
That work?
Just barely. Craig, want to say something?
Okay. Can you hear us, Mark?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Great. We can hear you fine, just so you're aware of that. We'll get started here in a second. Mr. Damon?
Yep, we'll call the meeting to order now. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Hello, everyone. I'll open this up with some public comment on the agenda items. Is there any?
Mr. Damon, before we get to that, pardon me, if we could just announce that the board did meet in executive session on June 2nd, June 9, and June 11, mostly to discuss matters of litigation and also to discuss potential acquisition of real estate. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I will open it up right now for public comment on the agenda items. Is any public comment from anyone online or in the audience? Nothing online. Okay, I will move forward with new business. First item on the agenda is on the solar energy project. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors award asphalt maintenance.
Sorry, Mr. Damon, I think they're in the reverse order in your packet. So if we could just go to the second motion that's in your packet,
You're
please.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I move that the East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors award Terrasol Energies, Inc. as the lowest qualified bidder in an amount not to exceed $208,612 contingent upon execution of the contract and supply of the required bonds and insurance. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Joe, do we have a contract yet? Joe?
I'm sorry, I did not hear the full comment.
Do we have a draft contract yet?
I believe we have draft terms and conditions, but we have not entered into a contract or there's not a total draft contract. They were part of a bid spec, and I'm going to allow Mr. Kissinger to explain this further.
Yeah, so it was all done through pen bid. So there are standard contract terms in there that we were able to set going forward. So the contract should not go through issues we've dealt with in the past because it's through pen bid with those pen bid contractors.
Yeah, I'm not sure those terms and conditions are as complete as we need.
We will send them to Joe for review and for the board to review.
Okay. Other than that, I have no comments.
What's the timeline for the project? Total time to completion?
That might be a better one for Molly if you have that information on top of your head.
Believe we're looking at having this complete by December 31 of this year,
Okay.
Yeah, and starting when, Bob?
as soon as possible.
It's like a 6-month project, sounds like.
Right, I
So,
believe
right.
based on the presentation, we have to get started as soon as possible to make sure we qualify for some of those credits, the solar
Yeah.
credits.
Right.
Dolly, you would, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so there's 2 phases with the credit. So if you can start your project by July 4th of this year, that allows you a little more flexibility. However, the way the bill was written, you can still qualify as long as the project is fully completed and operational by the end of next year. So it does give you wiggle room. That being said, there's many people trying to cram these projects in. There's a certain amount of supplies. So if we can hit it by July 4th of this year, and the way there was Mark, I know we spoke at the last meeting, there was just a ruling, and Mark, perhaps you can explain that better. But if you essentially the way the bill was written was they excluded a portion standard. Sorry, this is not my area of expertise, but standard language from the IRS is that starting a project is if you put 5% down for the project. That was excluded from the way the bill was written. That just got struck down by a judge. So that now that should be included, that not as it could be shovel in the ground or paying 5% down, consider starting the project.
Okay.
So there is time, but I don't want us to feel like there's a lot of time because as I mentioned in our EAC meeting, when we went through this process initially, they gave us a timeline of, oh, we could get a project like this done in about 3 months.
Mhm.
And then when we went through the first round of bids, some of the developers were saying, oh, actually it'll look more like 9 months. And again, that was a different developer than this one. But again, it just shows the strain of the amount of projects in different pipelines. Mike, you also may have a lot more expertise to add as well.
Yes, what you've laid out by July 6th, technically the date's the 6th, but nobody's working on the 5th probably. So the 6th or at the end of the year are those 2 windows. But there have been changes in the past week or two and rulings about it. So it looks like those dates might actually get extended. But we're going full speed to prevent that from being an issue either way.
So let me ask a question here. Joe, considering that we need to have a finalized contract and we need to get 5% down, should we amend the motion here at all in considering those 2 points?
I think we're okay, Mr. Damon, because the motion is for execution of a contract or contingent upon execution of a contract and supply of the required bonds and insurance.
Okay.
So the bid came in at 28612, which is almost $42,000 under what we had anticipated the project cost to be. With that qualification being the contract has to be executed, we could put the 5% down as part of a contract if we need to. And hopefully we can get that done before any kind of deadline would approach. So if we can get that done before call it the end of June, really, then we can get this. We will be compliant. Is how I read the current language.
Right. So Mark and Dana and Joe, Bob, would we possibly need another possible executive session before the next BOS meeting to look over the contract and get that finalized before being able to, to continue forward?
Depends on if you trust me.
I trust you.
Okay. No, we don't. I don't think we'll need another executive session. The contract will have to be to my satisfaction. I'll make sure that it goes to the board for comment. And each of you can individually then provide your comment back to me. We'll make sure that we incorporate those things that are required from a legal perspective, and make sure that the contract meets the pen bid specifications. If it does so, then that contract will be authorized for execution as per this motion.
Mark, Dana, you okay with that?
Yes.
I just had a follow-up question. You had said that bid came in $42,000 lower.
Mhm.
Is that with no scope change, or was there anything that was removed from that?
No, my understanding is no scope change.
Okay. Big dollar amount. So,
It is, but it's like savings. That's what I like.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's-
definitely. Just want to make sure
Yeah.
we're not getting less than what
Mhm.
we thought. we
Mike,
were-
Mike, Did you evaluate the three bidders in terms of their capabilities, what they bring to the table, their um, expertise in the area, their financial strength?
We looked at qualified, like their qualifications in terms that were submitted to them. We did not run financials on them. However, and really only one of them really submitted a full bid. So, but you know, we did evaluate all three. We are familiar with that company. I have not done direct work with them, but we are familiar with the company that we're awarding it to.
And
Again, I had no direct contact. I just know the people, the other folks at Panoni have done work with them. But I did not have a positive or negative thing to say about them.
okay, all right.
It's
The,
pending.
I mean, I'm sorry, Dana, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if PennBid does any vetting of the companies doing the bidding here through their process up front.
They have to be registered through PennBid, but I think most could get registered with PennBid. There are a series of insurance requirements and certifications that they all did have to provide.
Okay,
So, you know, there is a series of documents about all of that.
that's great to know. Thank you, Mike.
You know, but they, considering they left quite a bit, quite a bit on the table. That does raise a couple of questions in my mind. And not least, which is how and why. Now, there may be any number of reasons.
Well, and I also believe that, so if you look at the three bidders, they are within line. So it's not like one that,
Significantly different.
right. So if you look at it, it is
It's 208, 213, and 221, Mark.
Right.
So they're really clustered in that.
They're clustered. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, I'm good.
Good question, though.
I have no further comments or questions.
Okay, Molly, go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing about the bidders is PA Solar Center, working with them. They also have a certain level of vetting of who
The
would-
vendors, you're okay.
vendors. Okay, sorry, not sure. Yeah, so they I don't know to what level would we expect it, but they do a certain level of vetting, and that is another benefit of us working with PA Solar Center.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just one more item. Since we are under budget on this, this does not mean that we have extra money to spend on other projects. We have plenty of things to handle with this, so just want to make sure that's clear.
Yes.
Very clear.
Spin it, Bob. Got it.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll ask the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just a brief thank you to the EAC and all the members for all your
Yes,
hard work and
absolutely.
efforts on this to bring this about.
Indeed.
It's great because it not only are we saving money, but we're doing something that's great for the environment. We're lessening using other types of resources, and I think that's a great thing to do. So
Sure is.
I think this is a wonderful project. And thanks for all the work you put into this.
Congratulations.
I'm going to move to the second item on the agenda. I move that East Vincent Township Board of Supervisors award Asphalt Maintenance Solutions LLC as the lowest qualified bidder in an amount not to exceed $499,236.71, contingent upon evaluation of the contract and supply of required bonds and insurance. Okay. Do I have a second?
Second,
Okay, discussion.
Just generally speaking, what is the scope of work?
If you look at the last page of the, you probably don't have packet. Sorry, Mark.
I do.
It is really talking about cape sealing a couple of the properties, and I can pull up the bid on here, but it's cape sealing some of the properties, roads in Wingate. And I will pull up the road here real fast.
I can, Mr. Chairman, while Mike's doing that. The road projects come out of the Liquid Fuels Fund, which is the money we get from the state. that is collected at the pump and sent back to the township. The budget for this was $500,000. We are $764 under budget on this.
What?
So $764 under. So that'll help us buy a little more road salt
Yes.
for the coming year.
So 100% is covered by the liquid fuels tax
Yes.
rebate. Is this separate from the roads project that was, I don't know if everybody can hear me, there were two roads that we were focusing on. I know there is a roads program. So this is just different than those other two projects that, like there are two other roads now, I'm blanking on which ones. Or is that part of the scope of this?
This is a
Part
scope,
of it.
is part of
Okay.
this. There was one road that was looked to be shared with our neighbor, but their terms were
We couldn't come to terms with.
that's a fair statement to
So,
say. Thanks,
and-
Joe, for being correct.
So I think, Supervisor Sifon, that the township's road program takes into consideration the liquid fuels, monies, and where that money can be spent. Mr. Kissinger can explain it better than I can when he gets his roads up and running, or his program up and running rather, and can tell us exactly what roads these are. But it's, Mark, to answer the question in broad brush terms, it's roughly 11,500 square feet of milling. You get the super pave overlay, and then there's striping associated with, in addition to the cape sealing on the couple of township properties. So significant amount of road work to be done here.
Yeah, it is on Hickory Grove Road from Ridge Road to Seven Stars.
And also as part of this, last year, we did not have a road program due to the cost of oil. And unfortunately, the cost of oil has spiked back up, which we had anticipating the potential of possibly adding an additional road. But since the cost of oil now has jumped up significantly, that will keep us within this budget for these roads.
And is it accurate that you've gone through a prioritization process
Yes.
to come up with what is in the scope of this? And could you talk a little bit about how you determine those priorities?
Yep. So each year we do a road program, which we actually scan the township roads and look at it to make sure that the roads aren't deteriorating in any, unusual patterns. So as we mentioned last year, we looked at, was it Pikeland? That was a shared road. We elected not to do it based on the prices and those terms. But this is this year's money and allocation. These are the next roads up. The township roads are in fairly good condition. So this is, the limited amount of stuff that you actually need to do, but we do plan to do more work yearly.
It's multiple year.
So it's a 5-year plan essentially, but we continue to monitor it to see if anything else happens along the way. We also take into account when we do road culverts and we do other work in the area, then we try to piggyback off of that and also make sure that we're not going to fix a road that we just repaved the year before.
Okay, and I think that's an important distinction. It's township roads. That's
Township
part of this
only.
program.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
Yes,
Mark.
we did scan the PennDOT roads as well. They did not fare as well, but the
Yeah.
township roads are in good condition.
Okay, that's helpful. Thanks.
And as part of this then too, we meet with PICO once a year to go over their infrastructure improvements. So again, that would be something that we would let Mike and Jason know that they're going to be tearing up roads either with gas lines or
Okay, good.
utility line replacements so that we would hold off them that year.
That makes sense.
And it's possible. And one of the things I'll ask the solicitor to prepare is that when utility work is done, that whatever road, if they go through the road, that they are responsible for paving that half of the road, complete restoration on that. If they run it down the middle of the road and they break center line, then it'd be the entire road they buy. So it's
Okay.
one of the things we want to make sure we get in front of the board here
Okay,
quickly.
Thank you.
Okay, anything? Oh, yes, please.
Matt Ramsey, Penhurst Road. While you're on that subject, one of the things that I've noted repeatedly is that when there is that type of work where the road surface is cut and temporary actions are taken, filled back in, those fill jobs are horrendous. There's lots of edges to catch with your tires, tire biters. You know, is there any means by which we can hold those utilities accountable to do some sort of minimally acceptable level of temporary paving? Because they haven't done it so far.
Mr. Chairman, we can on our roads, state roads, we don't have the jurisdiction
Yeah, no.
to lean on them.
I got that.
No squeaky wheel kind of thing. We just keep calling them and residents call them and that doesn't help either.
No, PennDOT's amongst their own and it's-
There's a lot of.
yes, there are.
No pun intended.
No, and it's interesting how they have a maintenance yard within the township. And I'm not gonna say anything more.
On township roads.
Any other comments? Okay, I'll ask a question. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay, since, Joe, this is a special meeting. Can we go right to adjournment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I put a motion forward here to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Thank you all for coming out.
thank you.
Thank you.